YouTube! How you guys doing today? It's Mike, Pratt Family Homestead. I'm standing underneath our black walnut tree. And this year, we have some black walnuts. And I'm super excited about this because we had fun two winters ago processing these and adding them to lots of stuff we were eating. And as you know, a black walnut is super hard to crack. So what some people do is they leave them in their driveway and they drive over them, let them break them. They do make special nut crackers because you will have a very hard time cracking these with a regular nut cracker. But what I would do, and I'm gonna hopefully once we collect all this up this year, I'll do another video on processing these, but I do the smash and sort approach to it, where I lay some screen over a whole bunch of them and I just start smashing them with a hammer. And then we collect all that up, and me and the kids sit in front of the TV, and Jenny as well, sit in front of the TV or at the dining room table, and we just sort them. And we ended up with, I don't know, 2 years ago, we ended up with a ton. And we love putting them in different breads, and I love eating them just the way they are. I candy them. The kids love them candied. So last year, this black walnut tree produced 0. I'm going to take you out and show you some of our hickory trees as well. They produced 0 last year. But this year, they're producing again. Let's go check them all out. All right, so some kind of cool tree facts. Talking with Danny Fox over at Scratch Made Homestead. They are like the pecan experts because they own Tanner's Pecans. I'll try to put a link to that in the description. And they are Scratch Made Homestead here on YouTube. But their pecan trees are on a, what's it called, biennial? They only develop nuts every 2 years. I was reading about the hickory nuts that we have. They're usually on a 3-year cycle, where year 1 it is gangbusters, tons of hickory nuts. Year 2 it's kind of slowed down. Year 3 you could have some, but you probably won't. And then it starts over again at year 1. Black walnut trees, I've read and heard from lots of people about tons of different things where every other year is common. Some people I've talked to, they get black walnuts every single year. I thought I'd read one article where it said the black walnut's actually on a 7-year cycle. So yeah, all kind of cool, kind of interesting. I also find it interesting if last year was a cycle off for the hickory nut and the walnut tree, I wonder how they got on that same cycle. So it'll be interesting to see over the next 3, 4, 5, 6 years that we're here and we know our property better, how they're producing, or I don't know, is producing affected by what crops are planted and what sprays are sprayed around us? I have no idea. I have no idea. So anyways, that's all pretty cool and interesting. This is by far our biggest nut tree on the property. This thing is producing a ton of walnuts this year. And I've read several different things. I think I posted on our Facebook page, and people that we didn't have any last year, and some people reported back that every single one, or their nut trees produce, or their black walnut trees produce every single year. Others said they produce every year. Others, I've read that they can be on almost like a 7-year cycle. So I don't know, it might depend a lot on climate and stuff, but none of our nut trees produced last year. Keep waiting for all these guys to fall. It clutters the driveway here, which I don't think, there's really not much in the driveway. We've been collecting these up. The ones that are falling really early, we've been collecting up and feeding to those guys. They love them. Let's go check out some of the other ones on the property. Where we're gonna head to next is our wooded area. And you might be able to see, there's our bees. Right above the bees, like here, is another black walnut. So let's go check that out. So another thing about black walnuts is I've heard that the hull of the black walnut is poisonous to a lot of stuff, where I've heard like some people would even take them and like kind of chop up the holes of the nut, and not the shell, but the hole around the shell, and like sprinkle it in their driveway and stuff to kill the grass and stuff. Another interesting thing is the roots of the black walnut extend out up to about 50 foot. And I cannot remember the name of what it is. I will try to put a caption of it right here. But the roots emit something which is basically a herbicide. So that's not good for gardens and stuff. Now I've measured it out and our garden is more than 50 foot away. The very front corner of the garden here might be an issue, but let me tell you what, green beans and squash and a tomato plant and a pepper plant right there have had no problem growing. So not too worried about it. I am pretty happy that according to some math figures, we have a 186-year-old walnut tree black walnut tree sitting right next to our house. Not sure why, but I find that really cool. All right, we will call this black walnut tree number 2. Quite a few. I don't see many on the ground right here. My guess is wildlife is getting them. But they're definitely there in the trees. Or this just hasn't dropped any yet, which I'd find hard to believe as well. All right, so that's black walnut number 2. There's pigs, there's house, there's that other black walnut tree that we first looked at. But now, we're gonna make our way around our little wooded area. Look at that, look how beautiful that is. Sun's going down. Actually, I'm gonna start losing light. We better get going on this. There, all right. There's some hickory nuts. In the wildlife, we have not done a good job of collecting hickory nuts before because the wildlife will get them. I told Jenny a couple years ago I wanted to string up a net underneath this thing to catch hickory nuts. I'm almost wondering if I should pull off ones that I want. They're good. I have eaten a couple. They are good. That tree has really yellowed compared to these trees. Interesting. So all together, I mean, as far as tree trunks go, there's 3 there, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 hickory trees. I wonder if it would help if I thin these out at all or anything. This tree here is looking pretty good. This one, I don't know if that's good or bad. It's turning all yellow. I mean, it gets just as much sun and everything as this one does all day long. Let's back up here a little bit. I had no idea what these were. My father-in-law is the one that told me that it looked to him like hickory. So, not my father-in-law, my grandfather-in-law, Jenny's grandpa. Yep. All right, so that's hickory nuts. Again, producing this year, so awesome. I just need to try and get some for all the wildlife steals it from us. All right, I know we got some more black walnuts. Let's go look at those in a maybe, I can't remember, maybe another hickory. But yeah, so what do you think? Should I come pick these hickories before they fall? Is that the answer, to pick as many as I can before they fall so the wildlife doesn't get them? It's kind of starting to sound like a plan to me. Now we're gonna go for a walk down the back side of the property. This telephone pole, the woods on this side are mine. Field on this side are the farmers. It's our overgrown wooded area. The deer love this area when it's not hunting season. When it is hunting season, they're nowhere to be found. And they don't come on our property at all when it's hunting season. Well, I won't say at all. They do, but. All right. Black walnut tree number 3. This one looks like it's going to produce really good this year as well. It's a nice looking tree right there too. Really nice. And I think there's another one. Where's it at? Where's it at? That's it right there. Right there. So what's kind of cool about this one is it is located Well, I'm actually going to have to readjust a little. But next year, 2018 plans are for the pigs to live in the wood and eat pasture out here. So I will make sure this tree, or at least a lot of its limbs, are fenced in so that the pigs can eat the dropped black walnuts. Now I've heard, you know, the hulls of the black walnuts can be poisonous. I did lots of reading and it appears they are just fine for pigs to eat, and we've been feeding them to our pigs this year. So that is that. All right guys, so that's our nut trees here on the property. We love having them. I can't wait to hopefully make a video of actually harvesting, especially the black walnuts. The hickory nuts, no problem. You take the hull off and you can crack them open with a nut cracker. The black walnuts though, like I was saying, are extremely hard. What kind of nut trees do you have? Do they produce? How do they produce? Every year, every 10 years, every 5 years, every other year? What kind of nut trees do you have? Do you like what they produce? And how often do they produce? Let me know. All right, guys. Talk to you later.